3.
Welcome again to Real Estate Talk with Lisa. I'm your host, Lisa Jeffery. I am an active real estate agent with Fairfax Realty. My broker is Rodney Bennett, and our head broker is Dave McCoskey. I work out of the Greenbelt office located on Greenbelt Road. You can reach our brokerage at any time at 301-794-9400. And I am here with my two guests today. I have on my very far left, stop it, Brett. On my very far left, I have Comfort Oladipe.
Oludipe.
Thank you. You know, I struggle. You know, y'all need to be praying for me. And on my near left is Brett Carter with Fidelity Direct Mortgage. And if you remember, they joined us a few shows back. We were talking about the benefits of purchasing HUD properties. So we're here for the what I called on one of my posts today, the remix about that. So we gave you a little taste about it the last time. So they're here to give you a little more information in preparations for the seminar. And before we're done, Comfort's going to tell you how you can sign up to make sure that you're registered to come. Brett's going to talk to you about some financing, and we're going to get into a little bit about why we have those beautiful pictures behind us. So we have a really great show planned for you today. Before we get started, I do want to acknowledge my team. I want to thank them today. Reba Burris Barnes with Reba Associates. Again, just an outstanding job of getting the information out. And Reba's also in charge of, if you're looking to have an item that you want us to discuss, or you'd like to be a guest on the show, you would contact Reba, and you can reach her at 301-420-0000. I also like to thank Nicole King, who's our team photographer, and she makes sure we all look good. She tells us, okay, turn this way, move your head. So she's responsible for the nice pictures that we're able to post after the show. I do also want to give a shout out to my business coach, Rudy Coleman, who's continued to encourage me as we go forward with the show. Now, our sponsor today is also Fidelity Direct Mortgage, and I met one of the big guys, even bigger than Brett. And Brett's a pretty big guy, but I met AJ, and Syed.
Yep.
And Syed's a VP of Finance, and AJ is one of the head guys there. And I teased him. I told him my joke that I told Brett, which was, I said they're the Microsoft of finance, because they started with 5 guys in the basement. He said, "You're right. That's what we did." I was like, "Yeah, But they're doing great things in lending. Brett's going to be able to share some of those products with you today. And, they were just so enthusiastic about supporting the show, supporting the vision of the show, which is to present you with opportunities and information that you can take advantage of to become a homeowner, to become an investor, to just achieve the real estate dreams that you set out for yourself. And so I just really thank them so much. 2015, you were Mortgage Employer of the Year?
Yes, absolutely. In 2015, we were recognized as the top mortgage employer.
Yeah,
absolutely. Way to go, Lisa.
So it's a nice place for them to work, and it's a good work environment, and that's a high honor. That's not the only award that they have. They have several of them, and when you go to take a look at their page, they're all the icons for what they've won awards for. So I want to thank you guys so much for your support. It really means a lot.
Very happy to be here, Lisa.
And of course, Comfort's here. She's part of our team over at Fairfax Realty, and we're just glad to have her back again.
Thank you for having me.
She started in real estate a number of years ago when she was also doing vending work.
Yes.
And then, she had a life-changing event in 2011 that really kind of helped propel her into going full-time in real estate. And if you ask her, she'll say, I just love to sell. I just love to sell.
Sales is in my DNA.
That's it, right? It's in her DNA. And she is our brokerage's appointed HUD listing agent for any HUD listings that they have. She would be the one to put those out there. And she also heads up the HUD outreach seminars that we have in conjunction with Fidelity and with HUD through Fairfax Realty. And so that's why she's here with us today to give us some insight into getting you in there. So we're going to get into the meat of the show in just a few moments. Now, some of the things I want to remind you of what we talked about last week. We talked about the rent to own. We talked about some of the buyer and the seller fears. So I want you to take a look at those because they may be pertinent to you. Now, if you're watching now or if you're watching later, I want you to go ahead and like the show, share the show. I want to tell you where to find the show right now. If you're watching, we're being aired on WBGR Wellness Network here in the studio. It's beautiful. Hope we look good.
Well, you two look good.
He's very handsome.
So
Don't let him fool you. Don't let him fool you. And so this is where we air every Thursday from 2:30 to 3:30. It's a great place, great opportunity to share information with an audience in a really top-notch environment. The other place you can find this show is on our Facebook page. Real Estate Talk with Lisa is the Facebook page. And for those friends that you may have that you want to have the information, but they may not be on Facebook, because some people aren't. I know everybody thinks everybody's on Facebook, but some people, they're on Facebook strike, so they're not on Facebook, but they like YouTube. Yes. So you can go to YouTube and you'll see us there, Real Estate Talk with Lisa. So we will encourage you to go ahead and share that information. So let's start. When we sent out our post, we put down that we're going to be talking about how to buy HUD homes with a rehab program. Mm-hmm. Yes. So Brent's going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how through working with your contractor, you can make a HUD home your perfect home. We're going to talk about how properties have a little less competition when they need work. Because you drive by and you're like, no, keep driving, honey. It's not the one. It's not the one. Doesn't look anything like the picture. No, let's keep going. But that can be a blessing in disguise because we've been talking over the past couple of weeks about low inventory.
Absolutely.
And so when you're not necessarily finding what you want. I know I gave a quote. One of the viewers liked it. What my grandmother told me, which was to take what you want and take what you have and make what you want. Mm-hmm. And that's definitely something you can do with a HUD property. And finally, flipping it yourself. We all watch the investor shows, how to get in and how not use your money. Well, we're going to talk about how to use some money that's available and purchasing that home and creating that flip yourself and being your own investor. So, Brett, you want to start us out with talking about the rehab financing?
Well, I do. Lisa, actually, you had a great point. So, what's funny is today we have inventory. Inventory is difficult, right? And we have properties that are in great shape that have multiple contracts, multiple offers, and a lot of times, the bidding wars happen, and you may overpay.
That's
but
right.
The best thing you said was this: is that a lot of times couples driving around, they say, "Oh no, let's keep going, let's miss it," and then they go for the shiny penny.
That's right.
They go for something that's beautiful and it's ready and it's ready to move in.
That's right.
What's funny is that's what they're doing because that's what they're conditioned to do, right? Let me go find the perfect thing. I want to move into it. But what do investors do?
Oh, they go look for that house that's like, that's kind of run down. I can probably get this for a good price. And they already have this vision of, okay, let's see what the other house on the street looks like. Yep, I can put this in, put that in, put the paint on it, make sure the structure's good. And you'll see that house back on the market for a higher price, and you'll be one of the first people at the open house, right?
So they do exactly the opposite, right? The 10 houses that the couple went past, no, honey, keep moving, because I'm going to find it. The investor's going, oh, wait a minute, let me find this house, right? This is what I want to do, and I don't have a lot of competition. I'm going to fix it up, right? We've seen the 38,000 fix and flip shows on television, right?
That's right.
Flip this house, flip Vegas. Pretty soon, I'm sure there's going to be a flip district heist. We know what's going to happen.
Yes, definitely district heist.
Right, exactly. So what happens is investors find them, they fix them up using some of the same strategies we're going to have, and then they turn around and sell it to the person who just rode by 10 times.
That's right.
At a healthy profit.
And sometimes I find buyers, they'll go online, they'll be working with me, they go online, they say, well, Miss Lisa, they bought this house for like $90,000 or $125,000. Now they want 225,000 for it. You really think it's worth it? Well, that person that bought it at a discount, they put sweat equity, they put money in it. Now they're putting it back on the market, and they're putting it out at that price range. So now you can't come back to them and say, well, you bought it for this price. I want to get it for that price that you bought it for, maybe just a little bit more, because they've now made that beautiful. They made it desirable, and now you're in the bidding war.
Now you're in the bidding war. So some of the strategies we're going to talk about today, right, is the opportunity to acquire that property.
Yes.
Fix it up, make it your perfect house.
That's right.
And then guess who can keep the profit? You do.
You can.
Right?
That's
so
right.
the concept of flipping yourself, right? If you were an investor, you buy it, fix it, flip it, make money.
That's right.
Well, there's nothing to say that you can't buy it, fix it, make a profit because you keep it yourself.
That's right.
Here's the other thing that I'd like to talk to our buyers about is, what if you can make the house your dream house, right?
That's
now,
right.
somebody may have a vision of what they have when they fix it up and sell it to you, but what if you could do the same thing and actually pick your appliances and your carpet, make the bathroom look like you want it to look, right? So now it gives you the opportunity to find a house in the neighborhood you like. Might be the right square footage, might be the same lot size, might be where you want to be. I grew up in District Heights, which has become a very hot area to get back to, right?
It is.
Big lots, big houses, but they were built in the 60s and 70s.
That's right.
And they need to be brought into the 2000s, right? So they have the avocado appliances and the shag carpet
That's
and all that
right,
type
yes.
of stuff. But they can be beautiful, right? So
That's right,
investors
they
are
can.
looking there. So you have the same opportunity to do that. And then when Comfort and I work on the HUD properties,
That's right.
this is one of the things I think that is fantastic. We talked about this last time, right? People look at HUD homes because there's value there, right?
That's right. That's right.
HUD homes are properties that have gone to foreclosures, right? And people like to buy foreclosures because there's value there.
That's right.
Well, every HUD home is a foreclosure. So we already know that those properties are being sold at below market prices.
That's right.
Now, just like in Comfort, I can tell you, just like any other property, the ones that are in perfect shape and great locations and they're the shiny penny, they have a lot of people go after those, right?
That's right.
However, the ones where investors go are probably where some of the best values are, right? They're discounted.
That's right.
And it's the reason investors look at them. And then more importantly, as an owner-occupant, you always have bidding preference, right? If you're bidding
That's true.
against an investor, the owner-occupied buyer always wins.
That's right.
Priority.
That's
Right, always priority, because as Comfort had said before, HUD wants to sponsor homeownership, right?
That's right. They want to create that neighborhood stability.
Exactly. They don't stop investors from applying, and there's investors that we help all the time with HUD homes. However, they want it to be owner-occupied, so they're always going to have the preference. So one of the things we're going to talk about in the strategy is move away from the shiny penny that everybody's chasing and go find properties that are valued in areas where you want to be, where the competition is less, and take those properties and then use a rehab product from a lender,
That's
Fidelity,
right. Yes.
to make them the house you really want.
That's right.
So you have less competition and you can make it your dream home, right? I ask clients all the time, Lisa, what would you do to this house to make it your dream home? Oh, I'd fix this, I'd fix this, I'd fix this. Well, if I can show you how to do that,
That's right.
at a very low interest rate, give you the money to buy the house and fix it up,
That's right.
and you can make it perfect. What do you think about it now? Now, so it goes from being, I don't like that because I don't like the kitchen or I don't like the bathroom. What if you could make it what you want?
That's right.
And that's what we're going to talk about. So the first thing is just understanding the concept, right? When you have a lack of inventory, which we do,
That's true.
right? You might want to prepare yourself to find the right house in the right neighborhood, right size, right lot, right place you want to be, but it's not perfect, but you have the tools to
make it so.
perfect, right?
That's right.
And you know what's
Make it
even
what
better
you
about
want.
it? Make it what you want and make money in the process.
That's right.
Just like an investor would.
It's a win-win.
It's a win. It's a win-win.
Yeah.
And then when you apply it to the HUD properties, which are already discounted, it's a tremendous value.
That's right.
And and Comfort can say, and we've seen a lot of properties that are in significant disrepair.
Yes.
That become jewels. You know, people come in with a little bit of vision
That's
and the right financing tool, which we help them with,
That's right.
and they turn it into spectacular properties. Something they could sell for a pretty penny, but they want to keep it and own it themselves, which is a win-win-win. So pretty excited about that when you combine it with the HUD Home product.
And you know, the last show, one of the things that people were talking about, or I was talking to people about, was about one of the buyer fears, is buyer remorse, and you know, is my property going to retain its value? and then when someone's ready to sell their property, am I going to get the value that I've had? But here you can buy property at a discount. You include your repairs, but you're creating value. So you're creating greater value than what really you started out with. And that's kind of a way that maybe you can insulate yourself among some of the changes that are happening in the market. Meaning you're creating something that you know, you started with something small, but now sometimes it's not always a one for one, meaning it may cost you X amount for the repair, but the return in the value on the marketplace is much greater or more significant than what you're putting in.
There's a couple things along those lines. First off, if you're looking at the HUD home properties, right,
Yes.
most of them are sold at a discount.
Right.
So you've already built value there.
Yes.
Number two, if you're rehabbing the property just like an investor would, you're
Yes.
increasing the value.
That's right.
Like you said, some repairs have a 2-for-1 or 3-for-1 or 4-for-1 return.
That's right.
But here's the other part, and I think all our listeners and viewers should know is this, is that I hear that a lot. Well, you know, what if property values go down? We all lived through the crisis, right? There was a downturn in value, right?
Yes.
Starting in 2005. A lot of people say it was 2008 when it started. It actually started in 2005. Now, once again, from the last show, for those of you who remember, I started when I was 7.
Yes.
So actually,
I was in diapers.
Right, exactly. So I've actually lived through 3 of the market dislocations. One was the
Okay.
savings and loan crisis.
Yes, I
Second
remember
was which not a lot of people don't realize, in the 90s there was another real estate downturn, which was part of the Russian debt crisis, and then we had the financial crisis that was driven by the mortgage process. But
Yes.
here's what you need to understand about real estate. Over time, real estate will always hold its value. It's a misnomer that, well, it goes down. It may go down. There's cycles where it goes down. But here's one
Right.
thing I can prove. If I bought a house in 1970, it was worth more in 1980. If I bought a house in 1980, it was worth more in 1990. If I bought a house in 1990, it was worth more in 2000. Now, did I see some downturns at that point in time?
Good.
Maybe, right? But it's just like the stock market. If you remember, in October, Black Monday, October of 1997, the stock market fell below 2000. The whole world was going to end. It would never get over 2000.
Yes.
Now we're approaching 25. Now, did it go up and down in that time period?
Yes.
Real estate value, same thing, up and down. So one of the things that people say, well, I'm going to lose value. You may in a short period of time. Now,
Right.
we're already looking now that a lot of values have recovered
That's true.
to pre-crash
Yes.
levels, which
That's
means
right.
we're above where they were before the crash occurred. What's the difference? It's a function of time.
That's right.
Things go up and down. Now, what's interesting about real estate is you have to pay to live somewhere,
That's
right? So as long as I can hold the property and make the payments, it will go up over time. I can say with 100% confidence that property values will be greater than they were before the crash happened.
Right.
It's a function of time. Historically, property values, except for downturns, but they eventually catch up. Historically, property values go about 0.5% above the actual rate of inflation. So from 1950 to just the mid-2000s, property values appreciated about 3% per year.
Okay.
Then the market moved away from us, but now we're back to normal appreciation rates, which means property values are going to continue to climb. So a lot of times when I hear that, well, I'm concerned, I have buyer's remorse.
That's right.
Because I don't know if my property is going to go up. Well, the reality is, over time, your property will go up in value.
And you know, when I did the statistics last show, we're just talking about how pricing is still increasing.
Yes.
You know, and the market is still increasing. There was a few less transactions, but you know, if you know real estate, you know we're kind of going into the slower period for us now.
Right.
Going into the winter. But I was encouraging sellers last show, to go ahead and put their properties on the market because you've got a ready, you know, eager market for that.
You do. Inventory is an issue. Part of the reason the unit count dropped a little bit was overall lack of inventory.
That's right.
And the seasonality of the business, right? So we've seen those things occur. Now,
You were gonna say something?
Yeah. Also, whatever goes up must come down.
Right.
So, you know, I mean, with housing market, we all need shelters to survive.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So no matter what, it's gonna come.
It's gonna always be a good investment.
It's always going to be a good investment.
Always,
Right.
you know,
Right.
better than cars. Once you drive that car out of the lot,
It's over.
it's over. It's over. It's
It
over.
starts depreciating right after. Like as soon as you cross in the driveway.
Once you get
you're
out, right? Once you get out of the parking lot, it drops about 20%. I can't figure that out. Wait a minute.
Yes,
When my
I know,
wheels were on
right?
this side, it was worth this, but now my wheels are over here. It's suddenly worth.
I'm like, cause
I
someone
know.
tell my insurance company, right? So I can pay less. Pay less for it.
no.
But yeah,
So-
that's a good point. That's a
Yeah,
good point
in
that you made.
today's market, you know, I mean, it's a win-win situation.
That's
Supply and demand.
That's right.
If there's, you know, we kind of low on the inventory, and as HUD, we are trying to promote owner occupancy.
That's right.
Okay, but you know, the houses that doesn't sell, like I said earlier, you know, is open to the investors, or you know, I mean, good neighbors.
Because the longer it's on there, the more quickly they want to move that along as well.
Yes, because it's costing HUD money to put this
continue to hold it.
Yeah, to continue to hold it. So the first step is to follow the money. You know, talk to Brett, or if you have good relationship with your bank, all we need is the approval letter. But I highly recommend Fidelity Direct because they know what they're doing. They've been in the business, and you know.
And this is a particular piece that they focus on.
Yeah,
Correct.
Exactly. So that's why, you know, and whatever rate your bank gives you, I'm sure they can match or beat it. I've been working with them, so
yes,
that's the only reason I'm
sure.
Yeah,
we can match and beat it, but more importantly, Comfort hits it. The same thing that you have to work with a realtor, such as Comfort, that's experienced in HUD homes.
Yes.
The protocols and the process of HUD homes are different, and if you don't understand them, right, your contract may not go through.
That's right.
So you have to work with a lender and a realtor that are working together that understand the HUD process, because it is different, right? It's not just your standard writing a contract. But Comfort made another good point. As properties stay on there, right, the way the bidding process works is that as you hit 30, 60, 90, 120 day thresholds, right, with the timeframes, the bid requirement for HUD drops. So the longer the time is on their inventory, the lower the price gets.
Yes.
So when we talk about the rehab property, you're looking at areas where properties that have been on the and they might be great properties, just need help, right?
They just need help.
So
that's right.
you look at some of these older properties because that's where the value is. But a lot of people don't understand that because they're looking at what it looks like now and are not applying their vision to it, right? If they put their vision to it and said, look, close your eyes, click your heels 3 times and figure out what it would be like, right? If it really wanted, if everything you wanted to do that property, Comfort and I could show you how to do it, would it be worth you, right? Because you're going to have a value there.
That's
the other part is when inventory is tight, right, and everybody's chasing that inventory, you don't have a lot of people chasing this inventory.
That's right.
Right, so there's huge value in the law of supply and demand. Comfort's right. That's a unrefutable economic fact, right? Supply and demand drives prices.
Indeed.
That's right.
So if these are older and people aren't looking there, demand on those drop, which means you have an opportunity to get the best price. So what we tell people, look, certainly if you find the right house on the HUD Home Store and you're working with Comfort and you find it and it's great, go for it.
That's right.
But you know what, if it's not perfect, maybe you can take some of these and let us show you how to make it perfect.
That's right. Now, I know there's a couple of programs, rehab programs that you guys do.
Correct.
One's the 203K.
The 203K. This is for when you're dealing with HUD homes. This is probably the one that you're going to use the most. We have 2.
Okay.
Right. We have the 203K and we have the Fannie Mae Home Style. Those are both for opportunities for somebody to acquire the property, where we give them money to buy the property.
Like that.
And actually, because we make a sale.
Yes.
And then we give them the money to fix up the property.
Yes.
Now, there's 2 versions of the 203K.
Okay.
Right. The first is the 203K Limited.
Okay.
This is a great product, and the reason it's limited is the repair value is capped at $30,000.
Okay.
Now, keep in mind with this, a lot of times people think, well, I've got to do this complete massive rehab to make money. No, you don't. Not really.
No.
Sometimes investors buy a house, paint it, replace the carpet, replace the appliances, and put hardwood in. Who knows, right? But we're not talking about major repairs.
The things,
the cosmetic
sometimes we call them, I was going to say cosmetics in the real estate industry, but they're things that really make the home appealing
and
to
add value,
you.
right?
You know, yes, because you know, if you have like the nice quality appliances in there, you may add some granite countertops.
Yes.
You know, they're not. It's not like a major overhaul. You don't have to tear the whole kitchen out necessarily, but it's just a nice things that really add a little step up to it. you know, and you know, you have the nice paint that's the colors that you want that make it warm and inviting. Doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg.
No.
But it can be those cosmetic touches that make all the difference. Like you go in, you know, there's terrible carpet there. You know, we all know the flooring's not good. It kind of brings your mood about the property down, but you know, you put fresh carpet down, some nice hardwoods,
Right.
and nowadays there are hardwood products for almost every
Everything.
every budget.
Exactly.
You know, there's, you know, all different types of styles because they find that a lot of people like them. People have more allergies, so they like
Sure.
that. But you know, sometimes just changing that flooring just elevates the property.
At least you can go in, and I'm a big fan of the limited, right? Because a lot of times people get into it and say, you know, I don't really want to do a full rehab. Like, well,
Right.
you really don't, right? To
Right.
add, we're talking about that 2-for-1, 3-for-1, 4-for-1
That's
investment.
right.
Right? Maybe $30,000, and a lot of times people look at, I don't like the carpet, or I don't like the paint, and I don't have a revenue, resources, or vehicle to make the changes I want.
Right.
If I can show you how to do that at an interest rate in the 4s, would that be attractive to you, right? They're
Yep.
going to say yes. So what happens if you put granite on it, or change the appliances, or change the carpet? Would this house be
That's
what
right.
you really wanted? A lot of times the answer is yes. Well, let me show you how to do that. So the way the limited works, it's great. You can do all cosmetics, right? Pretty much anything
Okay.
you want to do. You have a $30,000 budget, right?
Okay,
Now
yes.
that's assuming that once we do the work, the appraisal is going to support it, right? Which in most cases it will. But what's nice about the limited versus the other K is you get half of the money up front.
Okay.
You go to settlement, you get half the money up front.
Okay.
Then when you finish it, you get the remaining 30,000. And it could be some. I mean, it doesn't have to be 30. If the appliances and the granite cost you 12, then it's 12, right?
right.
If you want to use the 30, use the 30. So that's what we call the 203K limited, right? So you
Okay.
get the acquisition money, you get the up to 30,000 to repair it.
Good. Good.
And now and what's really nice about this, it actually lowers the down payment required for the buyer. And well,
Really?
here's why.
Okay.
Because you got to understand the math.
Okay.
So if I buy a house, if I find a house that an investor bought for your example, bought it for 125,
Right.
put 100 grand in, they're selling it for 300.
Right.
Right. Well, I'm selling it for 300. I got to come up with the down payment for the 300. Now, what if I bought that same house with a K? I bought it
Right.
for 100, and I put 100 into it. That's 200. I only have
Right.
to come up with the down payment based on the 200, even though my
Wow.
property, when it's done, is worth 300. So what did
Yes.
I do? I just lowered the amount of money to get I'm still getting a $300,000 house,
That's right.
but it's only costing me 200, and I'm only
Yes.
coming up with the money for 200, and I made 100,000. Does that happen
that's-
every single day?
That is awesome because I actually had a client and she bought a foreclosed property. I wasn't through HUD, but it was a foreclosed
Just regular
property.
foreclosure, right.
And once the work was done, they had it reappraised. I know we got that property for probably 150,000 or maybe a little less, and it was a little intricate with that one in terms of submitting and
Sure.
waiting and the highest and best which they ask for if you've had more than a couple of offers, if they've had more than a couple of offers on it. But once the work was done, they had it reappraised, and it was actually reappraised in the 3s.
See?
Beautiful finishes, granite. Because I was at the housewarming. It was gorgeous. I was looking at the house like,
Is it the
it's
same
great.
house?
Because when we went to look at the house,
Oh
it was
my
like,
God.
she was like, she said another family member downstairs to check out the basement because she's like, this just looks creepy. I'm
Little
just
afraid
not
of it, right?
going. Yeah,
Not going
I mean,
in.
I remember there was like some leaks and some water
I
and
know.
all different kinds of things going on in the house. But I'm telling you, that housewarming, it was beautiful.
Yep.
And I saw things done in the house that I wouldn't have even expected that you could fit in there. But you were looking at it though as it was before. So I mean, it's just beautiful. It's beautiful what you can do.
There are opportunities like that every single day in HUD homes.
Yes.
Every day. You know why? They're all foreclosures.
That's right.
And
That's right.
if you look at the rehab product, it's taking a little bit of vision to make it what you really want, and you create value in doing it. So I think that's one of the underutilized ideas within the HUD Homes program, right? Not a lot of people know about it, which we talked about our last visit, right?
Yes.
Right.
And the opportunity to support owner occupancy, and the opportunity to take a deferred maintenance, right, property, which we'll
That's
call that,
right.
right? They're not
Defer- I
necessarily
like that, deferred maintenance.
right? And take
I'm
that.
gonna be applying that to a lot of things.
Take that,
Yes.
right? Take that and make it really what you want, right?
Right.
And then what do you
Exactly.
do? You make money in the process, right?
That's right.
Because if it appraises at 50, 60, 70, 80 grand more than what you have into it, guess what? you've made that money.
You have made that money.
Over time, you've
and
made
we're
that
talking
money.
about wealth building, and so here is a way to do it. Now you mentioned that this is the 203K limited. Is there a different one?
There is.
That the limited?
Then there's the full K.
Okay.
Now the full K is a little more detailed.
Okay.
But it has a unlimited budget as long as the property value, when it's finished, we do what's called as completed value.
Okay.
So I'm buying the property, this is what I'm putting into it, what's it worth when I'm done? As long as that can cover the total rehab loan amount, you're fine. You can completely gut a property. You can completely do the kitchen. You can take every wall out and redo the entire thing.
Okay.
So then you can really make it what you want, right? So there's opportunities where we find a house that might be in significant state of disrepair, where we've had homeowners, Comfort and I've had homeowners go in and just completely gut it.
Right.
New kitchen, new bath, new this, new that, new paint, new apply, everything, and it's stunning when it's done. So the Streamline K is limited to 30. The full K is not limited to anything as long as it meets the covers the loan amount on the appraised value when it's done, as completed complete value, and you can do anything.
Excellent.
I mean, you can replace the heating and air conditioning system. You can
because some of them have the old baseboard heat.
We see that all the time. Take the baseboard heat out.
Radiator heat.
Radiator, right.
And you look at things like, oh no, I can't do with that. Or maybe you have oil heat. You saw a house, you liked everything about it, but it had that oil heat.
And you don't want the oil heat.
And you just wanted to put in central heating and air.
Right.
That's something that you can do, which immediately increases the value of the home, increases your comfort, and it's something that you can accommodate in your loan, and the loan is still going to be at a price that's within your budget.
Yes. Well, what's nice about the 203K, it's a regular FHA loan, so there's no price premium to that, right? So you're looking at right now the interest. We've seen a little upward pressure of interest rates because the economy's doing so well, which is a good thing, right?
Yes.
So
finally,
no,
not finally, but I mean it's been coming up.
It's been moving up. So we've seen interest rates move up a little bit, but you're still looking at the 4. So it's tremendous value there. And it's a great tool. So you have the Streamline at 30.
Yes.
You have the full K at everything.
That's right.
And in both products, you have to have a great agent to work with you on them and a lender that understands, because not everybody does them, right?
That's
because there is a level of expertise and the ability to manage the draws and those types of things is a little bit difficult, but it's great value in that product. And what I like is areas where I grew up. Like I said, I'm a Prince George's County guy.
Yeah.
So we're looking at District Heights and Hyattsville and Bladensburg and those areas now become hot areas for people to go back
They
to.
are.
And
They
it's
are.
great. I mean, you're talking about just communities just really coming alive and people finding great values
right.
where they want to be. So I think it's really exciting of that. What's interesting, we see a lot of HUD inventory in areas where people want to go. And that's why I encourage you to come to our event, because you'd be surprised.
That's right.
We had a property in our last HUD home seminar. It was spectacular. Now, this isn't the rehab one we're looking. This is the shiny penny everybody goes to.
Right.
But it was a 5-bedroom, 4-bath house in Bowie.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it sold for $560. I think the value of the thing was like $700.
See.
Now that was one that everybody went after, right? That was the one we pulled up on the thing. And everybody go, look at that one, right?
I know that.
Exactly. So
I
I think
know.
actually people were running out of the event as fast as they could to drive to that one. I'm just kidding. So, but it's but then you look at areas where we're seeing Riverdale or District Heights or Upper Marble areas where you're seeing great values.
That's right.
And the properties just need a little bit of TLC.
Just needs a
That's
bit
it.
of work.
Right.
And to we talk about, because we went through a really harsh period when the market was down, of foreclosures everywhere. And you go down the street and this one's boarded up, that one's got paper on the front, and so now you're in a position where you can bring life back to that neighborhood. And when you're talking about the shiny penny ones, I actually did have a client a couple of years ago that it was a beautiful house. It wasn't the model home, but it was really nice and like just a little pocket community of larger homes in Upper Marlboro. And the home, it was missing pipes. It was missing. The carpet was bad. There were holes. There were all different things going on with the house. But he really saw the beauty of the home, and it was a HUD property. And So I am familiar with the process from the buyer agent side to do it. So they have time frames, like Brett mentioned. They have time frames that you have to follow to get everything into them in time, because they're on a time frame. They want you to get it. They want you to have it. And they want to move quickly for you to get it.
Exactly. You have a great point. Because in those days, I mean, during the downtown, you see houses. I've been to one. There was no drywall.
Yes.
But nowadays, with we are under Sage acquisitions. They got the contract. You have to go in there, make sure the property are not vandalized, and you have to report back to them if there's any changes. So most of the houses nowadays doesn't look the way it used to be, because now they have the listing agent. I mean, it's a lot of paperwork
to maintain and to go back and visit them, because I spoke with another agent as well that does that.
Oh, yes.
And you have to go back and check to see what's going on, because they're very protective about the properties. And so as soon as there's a change, if there's been anything that's happened at the property, they like to be notified right away.
And they will fix it. So most of the houses are not like in those days that the one you're talking about. Most of the houses nowadays just need a little bit of
just a little bit of TLC.
And
tender love and care for those of you that are too young for that.
I know.
Just little TLC makes a big difference.
That's right.
Now think about this. We talked about the Good Neighbor Next Door program. Right?
Yes.
So we talked about that, right? First responders, teachers, full-time K through 12 teachers. Comfort always reminds me that that's something that's a right. Can't be a college teacher or part-time.
Yes.
Right.
But remember, if the home program is under the Good Neighbor Next Door, you get to buy the program, buy the house at 50 cents on the dollar.
Yes.
So if a $300,000 house, I'm buying for $150. Now, this is where you take a look. You find some of these ones that are in the non-shiny penny. Talk about creating value. I get to buy it at half and fix it up and make it one-on-one.
buyer's remorse there. And
I know.
I've been racking my head thinking, who do I know that's teaching? Who do I know that's...
It's a firefighter.
Maybe you should start teaching.
I said that the last show. I was like, you know what? Maybe I need to get my teaching degree. But I really have been. And for those of you that are watching, if you know someone that's in that field, the fields that we named, because just think about it. If the house is on the market for, let's say, $200,000 or $300,000, because there are some high-end HUD foreclosures, because foreclosure happens in all strata of our society. But let's say you've got a $300,000 HUD property on the market, and because of your profession, you can get that home for $150,000. They're not even going to argue with you about it. They're not going to say, well, I don't know, did you miss any days at work, or what kind of food do you like for breakfast? I mean, it's nothing. It's just you tell them what you do and you qualify for that. And then if it needs a little bit of work, just think you're buying it at this price. It's already valued here at the discount. And now you're able to maybe put money into it that's still going to keep you under what it was priced initially for at the discount.
Yes.
I mean,
you can't beat that.
I mean, you're up late at night looking for those free shows. Here we go. This is what we're bringing to you. This is what we're talking about when we're talking about buying something that can be your family home or can be your investment. And they're giving you tips on how to kind of shop for those. But like I said, if you know anyone or if you're in those professions, definitely take a second look at these types of properties. I want to call your attention to the wall here. And I don't know, they're going to zoom in a little bit so you can see. And I'm going to send you the link to this website where you'll be able to see this a little better. But we have here some beautiful remodels, granite countertops. These are courtesy of New Vision custom remodeling. And it's so funny because we're talking about having vision and having an eye for it, because I know the last show I was kind of like, I'm not really that agent with always having the big vision, like I can always see how the renovation is going to work out. I know it when I see it. I'm like, oh, I like that. But I don't always necessarily see it. And I know this particular company, they'll help you decide what kind of vision you want and then customize it. So you'll see in some of the pictures just a nice setting In others, you'll see a really high-end setting. And that's the thing about when you can customize what you want. When you can talk to your contractor, because your contractor will let you know what you can do. You say, well, okay, I can fix it up, but how do I know what things to fix up? Well, you're going to have a home inspection. And in that home inspection, that's going to examine the systems of the home so that you know what's going on. So you know if you need to get a central heating and air replacement, if there's some roof work that needs to be done. And you can include those in your rehab loan.
Yes.
And as you look at that home and go through it with your inspector, you have an idea of the necessities, because if I understand correctly, you're going to do your necessities first. That's going to be your top priority, but you look to have some room for the beautification
fluff,
as well.
want some fluff.
Everybody wants dessert.
Right.
Everybody's like, okay, I ate my salad, but can I at least get like an oatmeal cookie or something like that? Now, you guys are having, let me see, I want to make sure I covered everything that we were going to talk about. Look, are you back on there? Are you on there?
Yeah.
With respect to the loans. Now, you said there's another loan, though.
The other one is
not
right. It's not a
203K.
203K, and for most of the time in the HUD homes, you're going to use the 203K.
Okay.
But there is a Fannie Mae version called the Home Style,
Okay.
and it's very similar. It's just a Fannie Mae product that allows people to buy their owner-occupied property, renovate it, and keep it, which is great. And it's very similar. It's based on where the value is completed, right? As long as you can acquire the property, give you the money fix up, as long as the appraised value when it's completed supports it.
Okay.
What's nice about the Home Style is investors can actually use it as well.
Oh, okay.
Which is good. Now, we want to talk about the HUD home owner-occupied, but there's also non-owner-occupied opportunities as well. So all of those, we have a defined renter department. That's all they do. It's renovation loans.
Okay.
203K home style, private investor type rehabs as well. All they do is renovation products. So we have expertise in it, working with Comfort and her home team specifically for the HUD side to take those properties and make them perfect. Now, here's what else is important about the HUD homes on the rehab side. You can take a house that is just a little bit of a miss, right? You can still use this product if you just want to replace the carpet. Right? It doesn't have to be.
So it doesn't have to be a whole full blown.
Oh, absolutely. One of the things that happens, Lisa, is people buy a house, and one of the things that Comfort and I think it's important, and we work together on this, is help people make the right decision, right? So I ask clients, well, what are you going to do? Like, do you plan to do anything in your house? Because they don't. A lot of times, loan officers don't have that discussion with people.
That's true.
Well, we think we're going to replace the carpet. Well, how are you going to do that? You're going to go to Home Depot and pay 22% on a Home Depot card? Well, why would you do that? Right. So let's look at this loan, because it's only 4%. Let me see. 4% tax favored, because you can still deduct it. By the way, the new tax rules does have a $750,000 cap. That is still,
I fit.
We fit, right? So, and I just have to get this in, right? Because I do hear a lot of questions about the new tax rule. There was always $1 million cap, right? So people say, well, there's a new cap that's going to hurt everybody, and we never had one. There's been $1 million one, right?
Okay.
It's been lowered to $750. Guess what? The majority of the people we do business with are good. Right?
I'm good.
So what I tell people is, if you're going to go to Home Depot and use your credit cards, that's 22% non-tax favored. Look at the K, even if it's just the carpet and appliances, right? Just do it in the K. Do it on the Streamline K, right? So sometimes a HUD property can be a shiny penny, but it needs new carpet, right? Because HUD properties are as is.
Yes.
Right?
That's
Everybody
right.
needs to understand it's as is. So sometimes it is a shiny penny that everybody's going after, but it needs carpet. Well, you know what? Why don't you do it this way, because it's more cost effective for you?
That's right.
So working with Comfort and my team, we can help people make the right decisions when they're buying HUD homes.
Right.
There's tremendous value in HUD homes. I would encourage everybody that is watching us that you need to look at it, right? It's not necessarily you need to buy it, but you should look at it, because there might be an opportunity.
Because it may be an opportunity.
And people don't know, right?
You don't know what you don't know,
right? So, and a lot of people.
That's why we're here.
Right,
That's
exactly.
right.
So, come to our event, learn about it. There's no obligation, right? But you should learn about it, because you don't know what you don't know, and there may be value there. So when we have our next event, I encourage everybody, because there's value in HUD homes people don't know about it, because I know I went to public school in Prince George's County, and I went to college, and nor in any place did I take a buying HUD homes class.
No.
Right? So what do you learn? Right? You don't learn.
You don't learn
You
unless
learn-
you run into
unless
somebody
you run
that
into somebody,
happens to know
So-
a little something.
Right, so exactly. So
And then you're skeptical because when they tell you, you're like, I never heard of that.
Yeah.
right.
I never.
So
You sure?
Right.
I can get my house for half price, or I can buy this home and fix it up, and I can increase the value. We don't. That's not a common topic.
No.
It's not a common topic at
Lisa,
all.
I get people ask me all the time. Well, you know where all the foreclosures are. How do I find out where foreclosures are? I said it's pretty
Go
simple.
outside.
Go to and says no.
HUDhomestore.com.
That's right. That's right.
Right, they're always like, "What's the secret to finding foreclosures?" I'm like, "Well, you just go to the website."
Because everybody wants to buy a list.
They want to buy a list, right? They
or
wanna
somebody
buy a
wants to
list.
sell you a list. You don't have to.
You
do
don't have
that.
to buy the list.
Can you give them the website for that?
www.hudhomestores.com
That's right.
HUDhomestore.com.
and register as a public. Browse and look for where you want to live.
Right,
That's
and
right.
you don't need to pay for it.
You don't need to pay for it. It's free.
It's free. It's
Once
free.
you
A price you
find-
can afford.
The price you can afford, right?
Once you find
right.
where you want to stay, then you contact me because HUD doesn't accept your application directly. You have to go through an agent because I have to show you and and
You cannot bid on a HUD
HUD
property without a
an
HUD approved
agent.
agent, right?
Well, as an individual. You
Correct.
can also reach out because HUD Comfort's on the listing side. You can call me as well because I work with buyers that are looking to buy HUD properties.
Yes.
And I've submitted several for them before. But you have to have someone to help you with that process. But I'm telling you, it's not difficult.
No.
And as you move along in the process, you can look at the contract. You can pick the contractor that you want. Nowadays, you check their licensing information because people say, well, can I get my Uncle Billy to do it? Can I get my this person to do it? There are some guidelines in terms of the contractor that you select because HUD is about home ownership, neighborhood stabilization. So they also want the contractor that's doing your work to be a good contractor,
Licensed
in good
and
standing.
bonded.
Exactly. So you want to have that piece in place because they want you to be happy in the home. The whole purpose in making those homes affordable, available, and initiating the programs is so that when you buy, you can stay. Or if you are going to invest it, that the workmanship that you've done, if you're going to put it back on the market, that person's going to have a home inspection too. So you want to make sure that it passes.
One of the things that happens, one of the safeguards, and one of the reasons I like the 203 product, is especially on the full reno, there's a HUD plan reviewer, right? They meet with you and your contractor.
Okay.
And they review it. And if your contractor is maybe getting a little creative and maybe charging you a little too much.
Keep those wheels on the bus.
Exactly, right. So the plan reviewer is going to go, no, this is out of line.
Yes.
But on the same token, if the contractor and I'm not picking on contractors, right? Because I think they
that's
provide
right.
good service,
We
right?
need them.
That's right.
But there are some times where the contractor may underbid, and it's not enough to get it done. And
That's
the plan
right.
reviewer is going to come back because you don't want to be in a situation where you get half started, and then you need more money. Right? That's a problem, right? There
That's
gives
right.
you no more money, right?
No,
so
that's
you
it.
have your budget. You got to come within your budget.
That's right.
So the plan reviewer is a safety net that HUD put in place. Back to your point, they want a renovation to be done well.
That's right.
For the right price.
That's
so the
right.
plan reviewer is going to come in and look at those things, and they're an advocate for you.
That's right.
And they're going to look at the plan and say, yes, we believe we can build that for this price. Right? Or, no, the things you want to do, it's going to cost us a little more, or we're being charged too much, right? So that's going to help you in that process. And we talk about buyer's remorse. The plan reviewer is a way to make sure you're getting the value that you think you're going to get in the process.
And that's good because because again, you may be looking at it and say, everything you guys are saying is great, but I don't know, like, how do I know? It's like you said, how do I know the contractor's telling me the right thing? How do I know? Because I don't have experience in those things. So it's good to know that there is some oversight when you're looking at, some major rehab work that you want to do at that property, that there's someone there to assist you to help you make those right decisions.
Exactly.
The other thing on the 203K rehab, the money isn't dispersed until the work is done, right?
Okay.
So you can't get the check to the contractor and have them disappear, right? They've got to do the work, then they get the money. Do the work, and then they get the money.
Okay.
That's to protect you and to protect the lending institution as well. So those are things in place. So it's a
Excellent.
great tool that's underutilized because a lot of people don't know about it. But when
That's right.
when you combine what's happening at HUD Homes with the ability to find the right property and make it perfect, you can't
Can't
lose.
beat it.
You
Can't
can't
lose.
beat
Can't beat it.
Right.
I'm going out to look for one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You want to tell them the date and time of our next outreach seminar?
Okay, so once we get through the finance part, you get your pre-approval letter, you go on www.hudhomestore.com and you find the property that you like, then you come and see me and I have to help you submit the bid. But the first step, in order for you not to lose your earnest money deposit,
Right.
is make
Get
sure
pre-approved.
get
pre-approved.
that pre-approval letter in your hand.
That's
You
right.
know, I recommend Fidelity Direct because I've been working with them. They are very knowledgeable about this, and they are FHA approved lender. They know what they're doing.
Right.
But if you have your pre-approval letter, if you have a good relationship with your bank, I'm not trying to tell you where to go. If you have good relationship with your bank, as long as you have that pre-approval letter, so that you
get
don't
started.
forfeit your $1,000, because in most cases for houses that are $50,000 and $1, you have to put down
$1,000.
$1,000,
Okay.
and 50,000 below under is $500.
Okay.
So we don't want you to lose your earnest money deposit, so that's why we said, you know, the
Make
first
sure you
step,
do it right.
do it right, so that your consideration
That's right.
doesn't become hard consideration. Then
That's
you come
it.
back
That's
and,
it.
Right.
and blame me.
Our event in January is when?
Okay, our events in January is gonna be on Sunday, January 21st
Okay.
at 2 o'clock, 2 to 3. And it's going to be at Silver Spring Conference Room.
Okay.
It's 10720 Columbia Pike in Silver Spring.
Okay. Very good.
20903.
Okay, and how do they register to come to the seminar?
Okay, all you have to do is free. And free food.
Free.
Free. Just come as you are. And Fidelity Direct will be there to pre-approve you and pre-qualify you, whatever you need, within 5 minutes.
Okay.
Then you can send in the documentations later. So that's how good they are.
That's that one-stop shop.
It's one-stop shop.
That's right.
You
That's
go
right.
online, you find the property that you like, you bring it with you, you know, register as a public on www.hudhomestores.com, and you click on public, you register. You say, you know, I like this one, and to find out if you are qualified to buy this property, you come to the seminar on January 21st. It's on a Sunday between 2 and 3, and Fidelity Direct supply free food. Just make sure you RSVP.
So even if you're a little hungry, come on out.
Yeah.
Don't let that stop you. Now I have a question. Is there an email at Fairfax Realty? Anybody they need to notify?
Cecilia at fairfaxrealty.com. You RSVP so that we know the number of people, we know how many, you know, drinks and food to get you. You know,
Okay,
we feed you.
excellent. Now, Brett, for them to reach out to you, how do they reach you?
Well, can I bring up two things real
Yes.
quick? So, one thing for those of you that are renting today in an apartment,
Yes.
one of the things that you do is you wait with the HUD property and the rehab, the full K.
Okay.
The full K will allow you to build in mortgage payments while you're doing the renovation.
Ah,
So
okay.
if you have 5 months left, 6 months left on your lease, talking about perfect, you can find your house, fix your house, your rent, have your mortgage payments built into it. So when your lease is up, you're ready to move. Boom, right? What a perfect
that's
time,
awesome.
right?
Because
So-
that's what holds some people up, though. It's
Right.
like, I would look now, you know, I see
Right.
the interest rates are going up, but, you know, excuse me, I'm in this lease and
Right.
I
So
can't move
if you're in a
forward.
lease, look now. Right. You're in the best situation to find a great value because you have
That's
a place
right.
to live while you renovate it, and we can build your mortgage payments
The
in it.
longer you wait,
so
the
you're
more
only
difficult.
you're only paying one time while you lease in. So that's a win. I think for people
that
that
is.
have leases now, that's a great place to find it. So,
Excellent.
and here's the other thing. I'm going to give everybody a holiday present.
Uh-oh.
So
I
here's
like
what,
this.
Here's what we're going to do. Now,
Okay.
I'm not going to be bashful. Comfort said you can go work with anybody, but I'm not doing my job if I say you don't. You should work with us, right?
That's
so,
right. That's right.
But here's what we'll do. If you
I
come,
said you can bid
I know.
whatever.
I'm just kidding, Comfort. So if you come to the event, this is the holiday present we're going to give you. If you come to the event, whether you buy a HUD home or not,
Okay.
but if you come to the event and you work with Fidelity when you buy a new house, I will credit back to your appraisal and credit report number up to a $500 value.
All right,
let me
now.
repeat that. You come to the event to learn about HUD homes. If you buy a HUD home, I'll credit back to you when at closing your appraisal and credit report. If you buy another home, but you have to work with Fidelity. I'm not going to do it if you work with somebody else.
No.
But if you work with Fidelity, even if you're not buying a HUD home,
Okay.
but you work with Lisa or Comfort and buy another property,
Okay.
I'll credit back your appraisal and credit report fee, which is about $500.
Okay.
That is almost as good,
That's right.
right, as any other Christmas present you're going to
That's
get.
right.
Yes.
That's right.
$500.
That's
Are you
And that's,
kidding me?
and that's for viewers of our show today.
Yes. All right, you guys got that? All right, so Brett, give them your contact information.
The best way to reach me is at my email is Brett, BRETT, at fdmhome.com. That's Brett at fdmhome.com. You can also reach me on my cell phone, 443-370-2908, 443-370-2908.
All right. So you can reach me on my email at Lisa Jeffery, LisaJeffery,
The right
38.
spelling.
Yes, because if you spell it wrong, I won't get it. Don't be mad. Like making comments saying I emailed you didn't respond. She don't respond. Spell my name right. But the number 38 at gmail.com. And also on the Facebook page, Real Estate Talk with Lisa. You can always comment on the show afterwards, or in the comments on WBGR Wellness Network where we air. Now, I've taken your line. I really enjoy it. When Brett was with us last, he said that he believes anybody can be a homeowner, and it's just a matter of time plus motivation equals home ownership.
Yes.
And you know how, if you look at time as a variable, you know how they would always, then they'd have a variable and then it would actually mean X plus something else, and that would be, but it would be represented by this other variable. So I said, under that caption of time, we wanted to put preparation plus education in
Yes.
parentheses. So
Exactly.
during that time part that you're adding to your motivation, we want you to be preparing and want you to be getting educated about whatever aspect of real estate, because we could say equals home ownership, equals investment, income, whatever that real estate dream is that you have. We'll be back on the air with you on next Thursday from 2:30 to 3:30. We got a great show planned, and then we're going to kick off January with Marcus Daniel. We will be continuing to give you reminders about the workshop because we really want you to come out. I think it's just an absolutely wonderful value, and if it's something that you can act on now, or if you once you talk to them, if you're not ready yet, like Brett said, time plus motivation, you can get an identification of where your position is, and then decide, how soon you can move forward. But it's definitely something that you want to take advantage of. I want to thank all of you for continuing to support us as we go into the new year. We're looking to continue to bring you great lenders, great programs, great information to enrich all of your real estate dreams. We wish you Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Thank you so much. And remember, next time, I'll see you at the show. All right.